So this is the reinstall of the 317 big bore after I finally got the part I was waiting on. I was waiting on a C-clip. I don't have the stock piston to show, but you can see that that looks a lot different than the actual stock piston. And what you want to do first, after you've got all your gasket stuff and material scraped off, is get a ring compressor or something. Just get the piston into the cylinder, and then you want to tap it in with the wooden handle of a hammer, and be sure and oil it plenty. And then you want to just slowly push it down until you see the piston coming out the bottom like it is. I mean very slowly. And once you get it enough that you can get the pin in, don't go no more, because then the rings will start sliding out. About right there is about all you can go. Be sure and put one of the C-clips in already, and then put the other pin in, put the other C-clip in. I'm not even going to be able to attempt to do that on the camera, because these C-clips are extremely hard. Another thing too is the 317 has a custom thick base gasket. This whole kit has been used before, but it has a custom thick base gasket, and this base gasket is 3 times, it basically would be 3 stacked stock base gaskets, or one that is 40 thousandths thick that you can order from comedicgasket.com, and then you can use a stock head gasket if you want. I'm going to, but you put all that in and slide it on down, and I can't do that because it's too difficult to get it all on with one hand. After you get the clip in and the cylinder started to slid down, be sure and have the timing chain tensioner already up into the cylinder along with the chain, and then just push down on the cylinder until it goes on. And you may have to hit it just a little bit, because sometimes the dowel pins, they don't always want to line up, but it will go on, and it may just take a little bit of effort. And before you go much further, after you get everything on for the bottom part, not the head, anything lower than the head mainly, I didn't even think to mention, but be sure and put Honda Bond right there on the cases where they are split, otherwise it could leak. I don't know if it ever would or not. And then be sure and put your tensioner back in so you don't forget it and end up not having a tensioner on one side, like one bike I had did. Then make sure everything turns over smoothly like that with little to no effort. After that, you're going to want to put your next you put your custom head gasket on. Don't even ask the part numbers, because I don't know them off the top of my head. And I didn't even order a custom gasket. That's a trimmed out stock gasket. So you put the head on, you'll have to feed the cam chain through the slot along with the tensioner. Keep it out of the way too. Next, you're going to want to clean off all the old Honda Bond, Yamaha Bond, or whatever you have on this, and get some new stuff out of the tube. And you just want one even coat all the way around it, and Just make sure you get some on everything and try not to get a whole lot of extra. And don't use black RTV, gray RTV, ultra gray, ultra black, whatever. Don't use silicone based stuff, because you're wasting your time and you're wasting other people's time after you sell the bike because you're tired of it leaking. So just do what you're supposed to do and buy yourself a tube of this or Yamabond, one or the other. And also, before you get too far ahead, you'll want to get a very fine wire brush and wire brush all that off, or most of it at least, and put some more on it and put it right there in between that, and then put some on the valve cover and put it on the head and make sure it's at top dead center, and then set your valves if you need to. After you put that on and get it in top dead center and all timed right and everything like that, just put the valve cover back on, all the bolts, oil line, exhaust, and carburetor, and clear off all your tools so they don't go flying everywhere, and start it up and see if it runs. Alright, this is the first startup. I've left the gas on for a little bit because it kind of fills up the bowl and primes it. Let's see what it does. I suppose it would help if the boot for the carburetor or the spark plug was in there like it's supposed to be. Well, it runs, and it sounds like I have a valve that needs to be adjusted, so I'll do that, but for now it runs and runs good.